I'm concerned about the truth. What does the evidence say? What does this evidence mean? Was this a ritualistic killing? Was this some sort of bizarre ritual that took place that day? But are they better explanations than for what the prosecution is alleging? And how reasonable are they when you really look at them? What the victims looked like at the scene and what was with them, because a lot of this, the defense says, and this is their theory again, that it's ritualistic, that it shows that something was done here purposely and there's some message that is left behind at the scene. We here at closing arguments, based upon this description, have put this together. Abby was on her back, elbows were bent with her arms placed on her chest. Okay, there, a little bit of interpretation, however you interpret that, that's how we are, but it could be different, but it's something like that, I would think. You've seen different depictions of those stick formations that everyone's talking about now, these stick formations on the two girls. What have you seen? And let's begin with Abby.
All right, so I've been hearing about these stick formations and this image on the tree for a very long time, and very different characterizations than what's in this memorandum. Sources close to the investigation have provided me with drawings of what they say those images look like, the arrangement of those sticks. I have spoken to many investigators who were on the scene at the time who say the assumption was they were randomly placed. They did not see a pattern. They didn't see intentionality there. The other interesting thing about these sticks, they did not collect them when they collected evidence from the crime scene.
Whoa, 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 slow.
Characterized to me as being perhaps an abandoned effort to cover the bodies. So let's start with the one of Abby, and it shows 3 sticks. Now, we have not placed her body here because this is how it was provided to me. We don't know exactly what the positioning on top of her was like. Now let's put up the image from Libby, and there's 5 sticks involved here by my count, and you can look at these and decide if they look like something to you or look like they're randomly placed.
But when you're looking at the symbols, you need to account for the shape of the body underneath it when you're interpreting it. You're not just looking at the sticks.
Now, the other thing we have an image of is what was depicted on the tree. And it's described in this memorandum as being the letter F, a rune painted in blood.
Blood, right?
But I was given a rendering of what the blood on the tree, or whatever the substance on the tree appeared to be. And
that's what we're looking at right now.
This is more accurate. Several of the investigators told me they thought that it was a perhaps partial handprint of the person who committed the crime, leaned up against the tree, and that's how it was placed there. Many investigators thought that it was a handprint or something that was just done during the commission of the crime and not intentionally placed there. But just like the sticks, Vinny, this was not taken as evidence. The tree was not cut down, the bark was not removed.
But now when you look at it, that with the information that Barbara just showed us, the image there, I mean, who knows how that got there? It could be even, not to sound gross, but like arterial blood spatter that went up onto the tree right there, the way that looks in the picture there. So now that sort of debunks my, like, whoa, there was a letter F on the tree, if that's really what it looks like Barbara showed there. I gotta just be honest, like, the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. It's the most sarcastic, sort of almost childishly written document.
Photographed, swabbed.
Everything was photographed, though, right? The scene had to be photographed at a minimum. At a minimum.
Photographed, swabbed.
Everything was photographed, though, right? The scene had to be photographed at a minimum. At a minimum.
Leak. That's where all these photos have been coming from. The crime scene photos that I was sent, there were 4 of them. There is the tree, the F on the tree, which I have been told now by both the state police and the defense that it is legitimately from the evidence. Answered all their questions. He asked me to delete the photos, and I did. Before I did delete them, I drew diagrams of what the sticks looked like on the bodies. Anyone that tells you that those sticks were just randomly tossed on is full of shit. Period. There's not one chance in hell that those are random at all. Some of them, the way they're laid, one underneath another, and then on this end, it's, no. And at least one of those branches was cut with an electric saw. It's very prominent in the picture. You can see it. You need to understand what I saw. And if there's anybody else in the chat who saw what I saw, they will verify this. The only blood anywhere at the scene was on Libby's hands and a little bit on her face. That's it. There was no blood anywhere else. They were both very, very pale, which indicated to me that there was no blood left in the bodies. No drag marks. They weren't dragged. These pictures make it absolutely 100% clear there is zero chance that Abby survived and tried to crawl away. No. There's no chance of that. So, no chance that they were trying to hide the bodies with these sticks. No. Not at all. No chance whatsoever. If they had wanted to hide them, it would have been much, much easier to just kick leaves over them, because there are plenty of leaves in the area. But guess what? They're not disturbed. No signs of a struggle. No signs of a struggle. All right, let me get this thing full screen for you, because I want you to be able to see everything well. Now, what you're seeing is, here is the tree that Libby was laying near, okay? I don't like it that big. I can't see the whole. Okay, this is Libby. She was lying with her hands stretched out, her arms stretched out toward the tree, and her other hand out here. This was a large branch. Each girl had a large, long branch. This one looked more like the trunk of a small tree. Each one had one large branch here on the left side, on their left side. And on their right side, they had a long stick that was not like a branch. It was just like a stick. You notice on this side, it's over here on Abby. And then she had a smaller branch right here. Okay. Abby was wearing shoes. She was wearing Libby's jeans. She was wearing a Delphi swimming sweatshirt, which I believe also belonged to Libby. Here at Abby's head, there were several little sticks, and they looked like they had been laid out to kind of look like somebody said something about the Statue of Liberty or something like that, but I couldn't tell. These are the sticks that I guess are supposed to represent the horns. Now, I don't know if this one originally was straight up, but in the picture, it leans over this way on top of this one. On the big branch on her left side here, her arms were up, her hands were inside the sleeves of her sweatshirt, and her arms were up like this. I've called it like she's getting ready to do the chicken dance. Laying across her, coming down across her chest, was a long branch. This branch came down, and then it had a little branch off of it right about here. With this stick laying across here and the branch forming a cross, they added another stick right here that made that asterisk shape. Okay. The long one on her left side or right side here had a little bit of a branch out right here, and then a long stick. Okay. So over here, notice same thing, big branch over here on the left side, small one over here. This one branched out right about here, right about at Libby's wrist. This branch crossed here was higher up on Libby than it was on Abby. On Abby, it was down here. On Libby, it was across the throat. The stick that came here came down, and right about here, it had a branch coming off of it. And that branch branched off here, and then it had another branch coming off here. Okay? So, if you look at this, a couple of things you can tell. Now, this is more accurate than the other sketches that we've seen. Okay? Because rather than being like up closer to Libby and more like this way, Abby was probably about 3 feet maybe away, and she was more this way, more of horizontal, almost like a 90-degree angle. Now, take a look at these shapes. Remember to set them upright as if the ground is here, okay, like this. And then draw them out, see what you can figure out, see if you see anything. Look at some of the runes and everything, see if you see anything that looks familiar. There was some kind of sticks, branches thing right here, but you couldn't see it in any of the photographs. The 4 photographs I had were taken of Libby from like right over here, taken of Abby from like here past her head, and then a close-up of this area here showing the sticks, and another close-up of this area right here, which I'm guessing was showing where they found the phone, but I'm not sure about that. So that's what they looked like. The reason I'm showing you this is because, like I've said, other creators that were sent these pictures have decided they're not even going to discuss them. I respect that. No, I didn't see a bullet in the pictures. No. I respect that they don't want to discuss them. And I understand why they don't want to discuss them. The reason I'm discussing them is because I think it's important. I think people have the right to know. Because, for one thing, if you came across that scene, okay, let's say you're the sheriff of Carroll County, and you came across that scene, how could you then go to the public and tell them, oh, you're not in any danger, don't worry about it? Anybody that would do this, you don't think they're dangerous to the public? You don't think there's a chance that it could happen again? Devoted to Mariah says, to be honest, I wish a lot of people didn't see these, just out of respect for the victims and the families and not contaminating a jury pool. I can understand that, but I still maintain that I think it's important that people know what was there. I think there is a very specific reason why all of this was hidden from us, and I don't think it's a good reason. So I think it's important that people know. Peaceful scene. I couldn't even see where anybody had walked on the leaves. Now, obviously, they had to set the bodies down. But I guarantee you, they were not killed where they were found. I promise you that. There's not one chance of that. Did you see the Inquisitor got them, but he's saying the sticks just fell on them? That's why I'm saying he's a liar. He didn't see them. Guys, when you look at a picture and you see sticks laying like that, do you think they just fell that way? Do you think they fell with a big branch on one side and a smaller branch on the other side, and they fell in the shape of the asterisk? And come on, no. Besides the fact that some of them, it's almost like they wanted you to know that it was on purpose, because they'll be on this side, the stick will be on top, and on the other side, the stick will be on the bottom. And then the stick that's on top here will be on the bottom down here. It's not. They didn't just fall. And anybody that tells you that is lying, either about having seen the pictures or about what they saw. And if they're lying about what they saw, you need to think about why they would do that. I want everybody to see this was not random. This was very methodically planned, laid out. It was to send a message. And there's no way one man did this. No way in hell. Richard Allen may very well end up being involved, but he wasn't alone. Kira DeBruin can't taint a jury with the truth.